We live in an age that relentlessly offers us pleasure at every turn, an endless scroll of entertainment, instant gratification at our fingertips, the promise of happiness in every purchase, every click, every fleeting escape. It feels like liberation, doesn't it? A world designed for our delight. But what if this constant, easy pursuit of pleasure, this shimmering oasis, is in fact a gilded cage? What if, as the visionary writer Aldous Huxley warned decades ago, our very craving for comfort and distraction could become the soft, velvet chains of a new kind of slavery? A willing servitude to the superficial, a trading of profound human depth for shallow, engineered joys. Today, we journey into the heart of Huxley's prophetic vision and hold it up as a mirror to our own times. We ask a challenging question. In our relentless quest for pleasure, are we unknowingly sacrificing our true freedom, our capacity for deep meaning, and our very ability to live authentic, examined lives? This exploration is an invitation to look beyond the surface, to question the comforts that might be costing us more than we realize, and to seek a more resilient, more meaningful path to genuine well-being. Nearly a century ago, Aldous Huxley penned Brave New World, a chillingly insightful vision of a future society that achieves stability and happiness not through overt tyranny, but through the meticulous engineering of pleasure and consent. In this world, every desire is anticipated, every discomfort swiftly medicated. The citizens are born into a scientifically managed caste system, conditioned from infancy to love their servitude, to embrace their predetermined roles, and to seek happiness only in the ways sanctioned by the world state. The cornerstone of this utopia is soma, a perfect drug offering blissful holidays from reality, instantly dissolving any flicker of unease, anxiety, or existential dread. Along soma, there is constant sensory stimulation, feelies that engage every sense, an endless array of superficial entertainments, and a culture that encourages casual, emotionless promiscuity as another form of distraction. Deep personal relationships, passionate love, artistic struggle, scientific curiosity, and spiritual yearning are obsolete. Obsolete, engineered out of existence as threats to stability. The citizens of this brave new world are, by their own conditioned standards, happy. They do not suffer war, poverty, or disease in the ways we know. But Huxley forces us to ask, at what cost comes this engineered contentment? The cost is truth, beauty, individual freedom, the right to be unhappy, the capacity for profound human experience, and indeed, the very essence of what it means to be fully human. They are, in effect, slaves who love their chains, because the chains are padded with pleasure. Huxley's vision was not merely a flight of dystopian fantasy. It was a profound warning, a prophetic gaze into the potential trajectory of a society that prioritizes comfort above all else, that seeks to medicate away every discomfort, and that might, with the best of intentions, willingly trade its soul for a perpetual, shallow bliss. He saw the subtle allure of a servitude that feels like freedom. Huxley's vision of a pleasure-controlled society finds a chilling echo in a well-documented psychological phenomenon known as the hedonistic treadmill or hedonic adaptation. This concept reveals a fundamental truth about our human relationship with pleasure. We are remarkably quick to adapt. That surge of joy from a new achievement, a coveted purchase, or a novel experience, it's wonderfully real, but often surprisingly fleeting. Soon, what once felt like a peak becomes our new baseline, our new normal. And to feel that same level of delight again, we find ourselves needing something more, something bigger, something different. We step onto a treadmill, running faster and faster in pursuit of a pleasure that always seems to recede just as we approach it. This isn't a sign of ingratitude or a personal failing. It's a deep-seated aspect of our psychological wiring. Yet, an unexamined life lived on this treadmill can indeed lead to a subtle, insidious form of ruin. Our energy becomes consumed by the chase for the next fleeting high, diverting us from activities that might offer a more profound, sustainable sense of well-being. Things like deep relationships, meaningful work, personal growth, or quiet contemplation. We risk becoming slaves to our own ever-escalating desires, always needing a new soma, a new distraction to feel okay. When the pursuit of pleasure becomes the primary compass for our lives, we may find ourselves navigating towards an unexpected emptiness. The joy it promises is ephemeral, and the constant chase can leave us feeling anxious, dissatisfied, and strangely unfulfilled, perpetually hungry despite a feast of sensations. It's a quiet form of modern slavery, where the chains are forged not by an external master, but by our own relentless, unexamined pursuit of the next delightful escape. Huxley's soma was a fictional drug, a perfect escape from any troubling reality. But as we look around our own hyper-stimulated, technologically saturated world, can we not see its modern equivalents, the subtle, often alluring chains that bind us in new forms of servitude? These aren't imposed by an overt world state, but often willingly embraced, offering the siren song of comfort, distraction, and instant gratification. Consider the shimmering, endless scroll of our digital lives. Social media feeds, algorithmically designed to capture and hold our attention, offer fleeting dopamine hits, a like, a new notification, a momentary connection, yet can leave us feeling more anxious, more compared, more disconnected from genuine presence. Binge-watching entire seasons in a single weekend, becoming lost in virtual worlds for hours on end. These can be enjoyable escapes, but when they become our primary mode of unwinding, do they not resemble a modern soma, numbing us to the call of deeper engagement with our own lives? Then there is the relentless whisper of consumerism, promising happiness with the next purchase, the next upgrade, trapping us on a treadmill of manufactured desire that rarely delivers lasting contentment. Even our culture of comfort, our societal aversion to any form of discomfort, physical or emotional, can become a chain. By constantly seeking to avoid or medicate away every unease, we may inadvertently rob ourselves of the very challenges that forge resilience, depth, and character. These modern somas, our digital diversions, our material pursuits, our flight from discomfort, operate subtly. They don't usually feel like coercion. They feel like choice, like freedom. Yet, if they consistently lead us away from self-reflection, from meaningful connection, from facing life's inevitable difficulties with courage, are they not, in their own way, forging a new kind of slavery? A comfortable numbness that keeps us from our truest, most vibrant selves. If the pursuit of fleeting pleasure and the comfort of modern somas can indeed become velvet chains, where then lies the key to our liberation? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers a powerful, timeless antidote, a path not of rejecting joy, but of discovering its most profound and resilient form. The Stoics, with radical clarity, propose that true happiness, or eudaimonia, a state of human flourishing, does not depend on the endless acquisition of external pleasures or the constant avoidance of discomfort. Instead, it resides entirely within our own character, in our capacity to live a life of virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. This shifts the entire paradigm. No longer are we slaves to circumstance, desperately seeking the next delightful distraction. We find our anchor within. Central to this liberation is the dichotomy of control, understanding what is truly ours to command, our thoughts, our judgments, our choices, our actions, and what is not. The allure of endless pleasure, the fear of missing out, the sting of dissatisfaction when a desire is unmet, these lose their power when we realize our true good lies in our virtuous response, not in the attainment of every fleeting whim. The Stoic builds an inner citadel, a fortress of reason and principled character. From this inner stronghold, we can engage with the world, experience its joys and sorrows, without being enslaved by the need for constant pleasurable stimulation or terrified by discomfort. We no longer need a soma to numb us because we have cultivated an inner resilience, a peace that isn't dependent on the world always being comfortable or entertaining. This is the essence of Stoic freedom, not an absence of feeling, but a mastery over our inner landscape, allowing us to find true, sustainable joy in the pursuit of excellence and in living a life aligned with our deepest human values, far from the shallow shores of mere sensation. The path from pleasurable servitude to authentic freedom begins with a gentle yet profound act of waking up. It starts with the courage to question the comforts that might be numbing us, to recognize the subtle allure of our modern somas, and to acknowledge the quiet hunger for something more substantial than fleeting pleasure. This awakening is nurtured by the Stoic practice of prosoche, a vigilant, mindful attention to our inner and outer worlds. We can begin by simply observing our patterns. How much of our time is spent chasing the next distraction, the next hit of dopamine? How do we feel after indulging in these easy pleasures? Truly nourished or just temporarily pacified? Perhaps even a little emptier? This honest self-observation, free from harsh judgment, is the first step. As awareness grows, we can then consciously choose to cultivate deeper sources of meaning and fulfillment. This might involve dedicating time to creative pursuits that absorb and challenge us, investing in genuine human connections that go beyond superficial interactions, or engaging in work or service that aligns with our values and contributes to something larger than ourselves. It involves learning to embrace discomfort as a catalyst for growth, as the Stoics taught. Instead of always reaching for the nearest escape, we can choose, at times, to sit with our unease, to lean into challenging tasks, and discover the profound satisfaction that comes from overcoming obstacles and developing our inner resilience. This also means consciously curating our intake of soma, creating intentional space for silence, for reflection, for boredom even, for it is often in these quiet spaces that our deeper thoughts and true desires can finally be heard. Waking up is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice of choosing awareness over numbness, meaning over mere amusement, and the courageous path of an examined life over the easy comfort of the velvet chains. Each conscious choice chips away at our modern slavery, leading us towards a more authentic and fulfilling existence. We began with Aldous Huxley's unsettling vision of a world lulled into servitude by the constant hum of engineered pleasure, a world where the velvet chains of comfort bind more effectively than any iron shackle. We've explored how the relentless pursuit of fleeting pleasures can trap us on a hedonistic treadmill, leading not to lasting joy, but to a pervasive sense of emptiness. We've identified the modern somas, the endless distractions and superficial comforts that can numb our spirits and divert us from a deeper engagement with life. But we've also discovered a timeless antidote, a path forged in the wisdom of Stoicism, the understanding that true freedom and profound well-being are found not in the chaotic chase for external gratification, but within the unshakable fortress of our own character, in the steady cultivation of virtue, reason, and inner resilience. The choice then remains starkly before us in every moment of our lives. Do we opt for the easy allure of comfortable numbness, the passive acceptance of a pleasure-driven existence that may ultimately cost us our depth, our meaning, our very soul? Or do we choose the more challenging yet infinitely more rewarding path of authentic freedom, the path of awareness, of purpose, of embracing life in its fullness, with its discomforts as well as its true joys? Huxley's warning echoes still, but so too does the empowering call of the Stoics. The power to break these modern chains, to awaken from the slumber of superficiality, and to cultivate a life of genuine significance and enduring peace resides entirely within each of us. It is the courageous choice to live an examined life, a life of meaning, a life truly free. If this exploration of pleasure, servitude, and the path to authentic freedom has resonated with you, the choice to awaken further is yours. What velvet chains or modern somas are you now more aware of in your own life? And what steps will you take towards true inner liberty, guided by wisdom and purpose? Share your commitments and reflections in the comments below. Your journey can inspire others. If you believe this message is a vital call to awareness in our modern world, please share this video. And to continue exploring the wisdom of Stoicism and the path to a meaningful, examined life with us, subscribe. Let's choose authentic freedom together.